On the first episode of season 2 of Exactly How, you're going to meet the new Exactly How host. We're going to show you exactly how to use the Connected Investors ecosystem to bring success into your real estate business and how to do it all from the comfort of your own home on this episode of Exactly How.
You're listening to the Exactly How podcast, where you'll hear the underground, closely guarded wealth building secrets of successful people around the globe. Discover exactly how to improve your mental, physical, and financial health. Feel better, make more money, live, give, and prosper in today's exciting, fast-paced world filled with opportunity for those who know exactly how.
Welcome to the Exactly How podcast and YouTube show, brought to you by Connected Investors. During this episode, you'll discover exactly how to start or grow your real estate business using the Connected Investors ecosystem. For those of you who are new, my name is Shaun Young, your new podcast host and proud member of the Connected Investors community. Before I introduce you to the incredible guest speaker today, I want to make a request that if at any point in the show you like what you're hearing, please give us a thumbs up, to subscribe to the show so that you don't miss an episode. And make sure you look in the description of this episode as we packed it with thousands of dollars in free resources. Now, today, I have the privilege to learn from the man who created Connected Investors from the ground up, guys. Prior to his career in real estate, he was on the BMX circuit, suffered a career-ending injury, started dumpster diving for work. But all that changed when he realized he was a self-made dumpster diver and found real estate. And you know what they say, guys? Everyone is self-made. It's only the successful people who admit it. Now, I would describe our next guest as creative and driven. I'd like to introduce you to the one, the only, Ross Hamilton. Ross, thanks for being a guest on today's show today.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be here on the other side, and this is really exciting for anyone who's been following the Exactly How podcast and YouTube show now for over a year. I've been the host for a long time, and I actually interviewed you, Shaun.
Absolutely. You sure did. Now we've got you on the other side of the camera.
Exactly. And for everyone who's been following us, Shaun, when I interviewed him, he just understood how to use Connected Investors at a really high level, had seen such massive success and just had a passion for teaching. So I asked him if he'd do the show, and this is our first show. So I'm really excited to be the guest on your Exactly How show here, Shaun.
Now, before we dive into the lessons of today's show, Ross, you contribute a lot of your success to the relationships you've been able to build. Why do you think this has played such a big role in your success?
Yeah, great question there, Shaun. And whenever I look back at how I got to where I am, right? You can kind of always connect the dots looking backwards. I look at those critical points in my life where I was kind of stuck, and then I had that kind of transformation or that breakthrough. And it seemed to always come from a key relationship, whether that person introduced me to someone, taught me something. It's just the way that I learn is through other people's experiences. I like to learn from other people's successes, other people's failures, and being the CEO of Connected Investors, you can tell that I really see a lot of value in networking and connections. So a lot of the relationships that I built when I was first going from a complete newbie to now the CEO of the largest network of real estate investors, I still have some of those key relationships, and I love bringing people up with me and making introductions. I just get a natural rush when I'm able to introduce two people, and then it helps them break through to their next level. So relationships are a great way to accelerate yourself and other people. And when I look at relationships, I view them really as kind of like the roots of the tree, right? If you ever see a super successful person that has a career, ending circumstance, something that happens, right? Maybe through all the COVID-19 things, like some of you guys have been suffering, they kind of, it's a big tree that kind of gets chopped off, but then they always seem to come back really fast because they have those deep roots and they have good connections and they have, they understand certain things. So I really think the relationships that you have and you cultivate are the foundation or the roots of success, and allows you to kind of come back faster, be resilient in tough times. And it's a lot more fun to do things with people than all by yourself. So Shaun, I think that's why, I contribute a lot of my success to relationships.
Ross, that's a great point. That's a great point. And you know, as they say, your net worth is actually your network. So, or your network is your net worth. So that's a great point there, Ross. Now, what makes Exactly How Financial Freedom Podcast and YouTube show unique is that every show comes with a detailed action plan. We pull the steps out of the show and create a blueprint on how to implement exactly what we're covering. Now, all you guys have to do is visit the connectedinvestors.com/free website to get the key takeaways, the resources, and the free gifts that Ross has generously allowed us to give to you. Now, as millions of people know, Connected Investors is a social network of real estate investors and a marketplace of investment properties. In the description of this video, I included a link to this episode's forum discussion. Tap that link to ask me and other pros questions and see what investors are saying about this episode. Plus, you get to see the free training right now at connectedinvestors.com/free. This is how I make my money, guys. You can find properties in any town for pennies on the dollar with this software that I use each and every day. Ross, you're absolutely right. Your network determines your net worth. And guys, as you know, what makes the Exactly How Financial Freedom podcast and YouTube show unique is that each and every show comes with a detailed action plan. We pull the steps out of this show and create a blueprint on how to implement exactly what we're covering. All you guys have to do is visit connectedinvestors.com/free to get the key takeaways and resources, plus the free gifts that Ross has generously allowed us to give to you. Plus, there's a forum there where you guys got people such as myself and other pros answering all the questions that you guys may have. Now, Ross, what is Connected Investors?
Yeah, for anyone who's brand new or hasn't logged into Connected Investors in a long time, we've been growing and transforming in ways that I could have never imagined when I first started this thing back in 2005. Because just like you said, Shaun, I realized the more people I was connected with, the more money I was able to make. So that was the only real reason I decided to start Connected Investors, to expand my network, to do more deals. So as I self-funded this social network. At the time, MySpace was the big thing. If you guys remember that. I wasn't in a college that had access to Facebook. So I was using MySpace, and I'm like, it would be great if this was just for real estate investors. And that was really the inspiration behind starting it. I wanted to expand my network. Real estate investing is where it had a very natural networking theme tied into the industry. So we started Connected Investors as a social network for real estate investors, and it started to grow and grow and grow and grow. At the time, 2005, I was a kid. Social media was for kids, but now social media kind of has transformed commerce in the United States. So high level, Connected Investors today, it's an ecosystem. It's an ecosystem of real estate investors, just like you, people that are new, people that are experienced all around the country in each and every state, city, and county. It's also a network of private and hard money lenders. We facilitate $5 billion every month through our portal in funding requests for real estate investors. So we have all the real estate investors here. We have all of the private and hard money lenders that want to give you money for your deals. And actually links to all of that is right in connectedinvestors.com/free. They literally are begging us to make introductions to you. And then we actually have all of the inventory providers. So people that need to sell properties, they need to liquidate properties to investors, whether it's a bank, an asset manager, and soon a motivated property seller, because there's a foreclosure epidemic that's coming, a foreclosure tsunami that's coming. So we're rallying our member base to go out and help these homeowners liquidate properties they need to sell. So it's the full ecosystem. It's the buyers, it's the sellers, it's the investors, and it's literally all in the palm of your hand. Our mobile app allows you to see all the real estate investors that are around you, connect with private lenders. So it's an ecosystem for anyone investing in real estate. And actually, whenever I was interviewing you, Shaun, you called it the one-stop shop for real estate investing, which kind of sums up what I said in a much simpler way.
Absolutely, Ross. That's what I was going to say, is that this basically sounds like this ecosystem, it removes any excuse that someone could have out there that could prevent them from having success in real estate. You've got the tools right here, guys, that you need. These are key tools that you guys are going to want to have in your repertoire if you're serious about your success with real estate. Now, Ross, before the show, we broke down the 3 steps to investing: finding, funding, and flipping. Ross, can you break down step one for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll show you, I'll explain exactly how anyone can use Connected Investors to find an investment property to either buy and hold or fix and flip or even wholesale. And, it's crazy, Shaun, because one of the free gifts that we're giving everyone is my book, right? And before the show, I was like, oh, I should grab a copy of it, but I actually just gave them all away. But what I have is these are actually my notes from my book that I started writing back in 2006. And so this is, anyway, if you go to connectinvestors.com/free, you can see what this turned into. It's literally more of a diary on exactly, it took me about 7 years to write this book on exactly how I went from a dumpster diver to a multimillionaire in real estate, starting in my early 20s. So if you're in your 20s or 30s, like, you need this book. If you're brand new, you need this book. If you want to read a good story, you need this book. connectinvestors.com/free. I'm just going to give it to you. And I'm not going to give you this copy. This one I'm going to put up to the highest bidder. No, but it's, Connected Investors also being a social network. It's, remember this, you know what this is? For anyone who's on the podcast, you probably can't see it, but Shaun, what do I have here?
That is a Rolodex.
This is, when I was looking for my book, I found my old Rolodex. And Connected Investors is essentially a full Rolodex of all of the lenders, all of the real estate investors that you can easily sift and sort.
Hey guys, that is an old school CRM. Okay, that's in a nutshell. Yeah. That is an old school CRM. That's a customer relationship management tool right there, guys.
Yeah, it's just funny. I still have this whole book. I won't throw this away. Even today, I just can't get rid of this. Some of these people I'm still doing business with. This person right here, it's insane. So, all right. Enough of a walk down memory lane there, but definitely connectinvestors.com/free for access to 2 of my free books. Actually, will be there, and our best free training that we've ever done. So to use Connected Investors to find properties, there are two main ways. Once you visit connectinvestors.com, you sign up, you become a member of the Connected Investors social network, and you can start searching for properties that other investors are posting. So this is data that's unique to us. It's not found anywhere else. We've pulled together wholesalers, hundreds of thousands of wholesalers all around the United States, put their properties inside Connected Investors to sell them. So that is a data source that is not available anywhere else. And we're expanding that constantly. And it's 100% free for you to go in there. And when you sign up, you'll enter your cities and your states that you invest in, and you'll start getting these emails once a week that show you the latest investment properties in your area. So these are just investment-based properties, a lot of wholesale deals there. And Shaun, actually, I believe you use the Connected Investors marketplace to sell your properties, right?
Absolutely. I use it to find the deal, and I use the marketplace to sell that property in the marketplace as well.
Yeah. So yeah, Shaun's one of the people there. He's out there in Atlanta. So if you're in Atlanta, you can sign up, and when Shaun finds a great deal and he posts it on there, you'll get notifications. So it's a super simple way to kind of keep your ear to the ground on what real estate investors are doing. For anyone who's ever been to a RIA before, I used to run the local RIA here. I was one of the people that ran it. And we had this part where people would stand up and say, I have this deal, does anyone want it? So we've kind of just like automated that large scale across the entire United States. And you can actually even join Connected Investors clubs and groups right there. So that's one of the ways that you can find deals 100% free inside Connected Investors. Now, so everyone definitely needs to do that. One of the big pivots that we made about 2 years ago is, and this is pretty common for any social network, we kind of became a data company in a lot of ways, right? Because we knew what real estate investors were looking for. We knew the types of deals they wanted, the funding they needed. So we went out and we took the Connected Investors Network and we bought literally like every bit of data that you could possibly buy on every property in the United States. Not just the properties, but also the owners of the properties. So I'll talk more about that a little bit later. So we have every property, everything that's going on with it, all of the status, if it's in foreclosure, vacant, probate, REO, whatever it might be, for sale by owner, if it's on a online auction site. So we've consolidated all of that all of that data into one beautiful, beautiful UI to where you can look for people who are potentially interested in selling. These aren't listed properties. These aren't listed on Connected Investors. These aren't listed on the MLS. These are people who are in some sort of financial distress, or they have a problem property, a vacant property. They might have a vacant property in Atlanta, but this person lives in California and they're behind on their taxes, or they haven't made a payment on it. That's a great indication that person might want to sell. So we have that consolidated marketplace. That's a paid version of our platform, but you can get in there and you can kind of see all of that. So you can see all the wholesale deals for free. You can go ahead and see all of the deals you would ever want. Cost a few bucks a month to get access to that. But those are the two main ways people use Connected Investors to find properties, to where you don't really have to do anything. Now, because we are Connected Investors, and you know me, I love networking and building relationships. The best way, not the best way, but the way you're going to see the fastest results is when you start actively networking inside Connected Investors. Because the difference between our social network and every other social network is there's silos based off location. So you can go into Connected Investors and you're searching in Wilmington, you just hit Wilmington, North Carolina, boom. You see all the investors in Wilmington. You see all the properties in Wilmington. You see all the private lenders in Wilmington. So those are the people that you need to start building relationships with, right? Adding them as friends. In Connected Investors, you can hit friend, you can hit message. So you start building your virtual kind of Rolodex of people right there. This way you can easily connect with them and kind of build those relationships. It's always been our dream from the beginning to have this blend between virtual and reality, right? Like the virtual world is like the Facebook, the networking side of it. The reality is like getting face to face. So we always wanted people to use Connected Investors to spark something in the virtual world that led to something happening in the real world. Now, in today's world with COVID and with social distancing, wherever we are in that cycle as you're watching this, what's great is everything in Connected Investors is completely virtual. So you don't have to actually meet people, but you can get on the phone with them. You can do a Zoom call, get face-to-face that way, and really kind of accelerate things. So if you're in there watching the marketplace and you're actively networking, you will find deals.
Ross, it sounds like this is a phenomenal source to find leads and to find the exactly, type of properties that you're looking for, the type of motivated sellers that you're looking for, all in one location. That's awesome. And it's definitely, as you've advertised, as I've used it myself to do the exact same thing that you just described. Now, Ross, let me ask you this, once someone does find the deal, what do they do for funding? How do they get that deal funded?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I do just want to point out one more thing in case anyone that's on here has to leave soon. Again, make sure to subscribe to this show. Make sure to comment, give us a like. We do this because it's the only way that we can help a lot of our mission at Connected Investors is to advance others and help as many people as possible. So if you're getting any value out of this, if you're learning something, if you're like, wow, that's so great, that's all free, give us a comment. Or Shaun and I are going to get bored and we're going to stop doing the shows, right? So we don't ask you to pay us anything for all the free information. We just love your engagement. And then connectedinvestors.com/free has the best free training that shows the software in detail. I take you through everything, a microscope lens of it. So if you're like, wow, that sounds great, make sure to visit connectedinvestors.com/free. Jump on that training. I'll take you through everything. So great. You use Connected Investors to find the deal. Now you said, hey, Ross, how do you fund the deal? And that's when people think about real estate, their biggest excuses are, well, I can't find deals, I can't fund deals, right? So Connected Investors kind of solves both of those problems. And we don't just say, hey, here's a list of private lenders, go reach out to them and call them. Send them direct mail. Here's a script to use. No. We went out and we did all that. I've hired tons of people to go out, call, direct mail, email, reach out to all of the biggest private lenders, all of the small private lenders that are out there to get a direct line of communication between them and the Connected Investors platform, because they want you just as much as you want them. But you might not know that there's a private lender in your town that's, lending to most of your, most of the other real estate investors in town. Now there's some transparency. You can kind of see that, and everyone can grow and accelerate their businesses. Real estate has been so fragmented for so long because people profit off the inefficiencies. Real estate agents profit off your ability not to be able to find deals. these other real estate investors, they don't want to tell you who's lending to them, right? But now you can kind of see through that whole thing. Transparency is one of our main, culture words that we use in Connected Investors, and we're trying to bring full transparency into the real estate investing industry. That's the direction everything's going. So when you're looking to fund deals, if you want to fund them, now we're going to talk about flipping in a second too. So don't think you have to get any sort of money loan at all to make money in real estate. I'm sure Shaun can attest to that. But if you do want to fund the deals, right inside the Connected Investors platform, every property right there has pre-vetted lenders attached to the property. So when you see the property, you can say get funding, and bam, you're talking with lenders right there that we have verified. And that verification takes a lot, because there are a lot of people who are tire kickers out there who they're pretend lenders, right? They're like, they know someone that knows someone, or someone promised them they're like illegal lenders, right? Is kind of what they are. So we've
they're brokering lending, huh?
They're brokering a broker, usually is what happens.
Exactly.
They're like 5 levels back. So they're just going to mark up the cost of capital. So we get you right to the source. You go to connectedinvestors.com/free. I'll give you a link right into that, and you can start talking with private lenders on deals that are in our platform and deals that aren't in our platform. So that's like the simple way to find deals inside Connected Investors, to fund deals. But like I said earlier, as far as networking goes, there's great opportunities to find partners, to find individuals to work with creatively, to learn creative type financing to where you don't have to go out and get a hard money loan. The Exactly How podcast has a fantastic episode about subject twos and seller financing. Definitely, I'll make sure in the description of this video that we have links into those as well, because those are great if you don't want to get funding, but you need to make sure you can line up funding. So start those conversations with the lenders. This way, when you find a great deal, you can try to structure a seller finance deal, get creative. If you can't quite do that, you need hard money. If it has to be taken down right away, you already have that all set up. So it's a very proactive step that you can make. But there's a lot of people inside the Connected Investors platform that have a lot of money, but they don't have a lot of time. So finding those people, connecting with those people, there could be some creative ways for you guys to partner together on deals. So you have the partnering side of it, and you also have the just getting your own money side of it. Is how people use Connected Investors to find deals, to find funders.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hence the word Connected Investors, guys. It's a connection. It's a network of investors who are all on the same mission, guys, to make money in this industry. So definitely an awesome place. So Ross, once that deal you find the deal, you get funding for that deal. How do you flip it? What's the next step? How does flipping go about?
Yeah. And actually, before I dive into that, my developers might try to reach through the microphone and choke me here, but we have our new version of our whole platform kind of coming live here real shortly. So depending on when you're watching this, the whole platform is getting a massive overhaul in all sorts of ways to make everything faster, fluid, more easier for you guys. So get excited. Every I'd say 3 to 6 months, kind of like the new iPhone comes out, the new version of Connected Investors comes out, and we are just developing at that rate. But actually, just this morning, Shaun, I was on the phone with our developers, and we're in the process of creating the largest verified property buying group the world has ever seen to go out and buy all the flood of foreclosures, right? Wow. So for people that are for people that have a track record of success, you can apply to become a verified CI buyer. And it's something I said, this is the first time that I actually ever mentioned it to anyone other than our team. But what we had to do is we had to develop a way to sift through the tire kickers. Because there are so many people out there that say, oh yeah, I'm a real estate investor. I flip tons of deals. And they're not. There's actually courses and training out there that basically teach you how to borrow credibility, is what they say, from your partners. Oh, me and my partners have closed dozens of deals this week alone. And it's just someone they kind of know. Now listen, I get that. I have literally been that guy. But we have some cool new software that we're rolling out to where you can punch in just a little bit of information on anyone. Like I can basically just take your business mailing address, Shaun, and it will tell me every single property that you've ever been the buyer or seller on.
That is awesome.
So now if someone's coming to you saying, they're talking a big game, you can say, oh, tell me about a property you flipped. 123 Main Street. 123 Main Street. Okay. Yeah, that was flipped by, Ross Hamilton, not you. You'd be able to see everything. So we're creating tools to help people cut through the clutter in all sorts of different ways, because there's a lot of people out there that are just faking it till they make it. So I say all that because when we're talking about flipping deals, right? You get your deal, you get it under contract. Either you own it or you have the right to sell it. Getting under contract is really important. Inside Connected Investors, we have something called the Contract Genie, which I think is the most underutilized tool that we've ever had. We just don't try to sell it very often for whatever reason, but it's every contract for every single state. And it walks you through creating everything from your LLC to a wholesale contract to a lease. I use it all the time. It's an amazing tool. It comes with our software as a value add, but you can actually purchase it as well. Don't use sample contracts. But if you take that property you have under contract or you own and you upload to the Connected Investors Marketplace, which is 100% free, right? So a wholesaler's dream. When these buyers start reaching out to you, once we have our tool, you'll be able to say, hey, is this person really going to buy it, or are they just going to try to wholesale it, right? And then at least you know what you're up against. There's nothing wrong with being a wholesaler, but at least we can kind of cut through the clutter. You can say, all right, great, yeah, why don't you have your buyer contact me directly, and then we'll go ahead and walk through it. Because when you go from wholesaling to co-wholesaling, it creates this chain that is just very, very difficult to kind of navigate through. So again, we're talking about transparency.
We call that daisy chaining, guys.
Daisy chain. Have you ever run into a daisy chain before?
I have, and it was a nightmare. It's a nightmare. And everyone has to be 100% honest. And sometimes you have no clue who these guys or gals are that you're doing work with. And everything is contingent upon everyone being 100% honest and making sure the information that they're delivering is accurate as well. So it could be a nightmare.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, guys. With Connected Investors, we're trying to get you right to the source, whether it's direct to the source of the lender, so you don't have these fake brokers. It's direct to the source to the seller, to buy directly from the wholesaler, but don't buy 5 levels down. Not that those deals don't happen. They do happen, right? But I at least want to give you and empower you with the technology to know what you're dealing with. So when someone is BSing you, you know what to ask and what to do. So the easiest way to flip properties on Connected Investors is just to upload them. And the cool thing is you can literally, with our app, just take a picture of the property if you're in front of it and upload it. Bam. Like, you don't have to add any information about the property if you don't want to. We already have it all. I know the square footage, the bed, the bath. I know the previous sale. I know the condition, roughly. Connected Investors knows everything already. So you basically just put an address and a price, and bam, it gets emailed out to everyone that's following that location, and your phone starts ringing. You start getting a lot of Connected Investors reaching out to you. You sift through the tire kickers, hopefully using our new tool, which, like I said, we're using internally right now, so we still have to make sure we can let you guys use it. But it's just the easiest way to go ahead and sell a property. And with our verified buyers network, when you start uploading those properties, they're going to be syndicated through our verified buyers network as well. So when you have a CI verified buyer, they are going to buy the property. Again, I'm trying to get you guys right to the source, to where all you have to do is go source the deals. And the second you find a good deal with a low spread, bam, you put it in our platform. We've removed all of the friction. You don't have to build this Rolodex up, right? Because that's what we're doing. I suggest you still do, though, because you want to have a good team of a dozen people, right? A dozen hustlers that you're working with that have different skill sets that you can really kind of grow with. But that's exactly how people are using Connected Investors to flip properties. And maybe, Shaun, in this particular case, you have some insight to that. If you can kind of share what you've done in flipping properties inside Connected Investors.
Absolutely. Everything that Ross said is 100% important, guys. It's speed of implementation, and it's getting, quickly to that deal and quickly being able to figure out if it is a deal, quickly finding a buyer for that deal, and quickly being able to market and sell that agreement that you have with your seller. And in Connected Investors, from the experience that I have, gives you all of that at your fingertips, guys. And like Ross is saying, since I've been using the software now for the past couple of years, it has improved. It has done nothing but improved over time. So I'm definitely excited about the new version and the new release of the new version that we have coming up. And I can promise you guys that if it is anything like the other releases, it will have a bunch of great new impactful information and data and resources that, are important for you guys' success. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
Now, Ross,
Shaun,
go ahead.
I'm just going to just get people a little excited about the new release, because what we've done is we've taken literally every single property in the United States and we've created Connected Investors pages for them. So the property that you're sitting in right now has its own Connected Investors page. And we're infusing that with data. And it's essentially like the Zillow page, but for real estate investors. So you'll see all the real estate investing information around that property and everything like that. So it's a huge step for us to start getting that information out there and being transparent and letting sure people understand, when was the last sale of this property? How much was it sold for? Who bought it? Is this property vacant? Is this property, does this property have liens on it? Who are the lenders that are going to lend on it? Who are the potential buyers that would buy this property? If it's your property, do you want to get a cash offer on it right away? So that's kind of part of the, some of the big releases that we're doing inside Connected Investors over the next 60 days here.
Ross, that is awesome. One thing that I definitely want to chime in on that you just spoke about is liens. Guys, gals, how many times have you guys gotten a property under contract out there, thought you had a great deal and then found out that it had an outlandish lien on it that would, just destroy the deal, destroy the profits for you or your buyer. So what Ross just said is key, and that's phenomenal to be able to have that information up front so that you don't waste your time spinning your wheels on a deal that's not a deal, guys.
Yeah, we're doing, the 4.1, 4.2 releases are about ready. 5.0 is already in the sites. And once you see Connected Investors 6, that is just, that's just game over, really. But we're working as fast as we can and as hard as we can. And the more people like you that are in there that are using it, the faster we're able to get there. So like Shaun said, at connectedinvestors.com/free, I'll take you through everything, details, step by step, show you how newbies are using it, show you how advanced individuals are using it, because our data can be pulled out of CI and put into any other system. So we are, data marketing and real estate is kind of our, all of our core competencies over here at Connected Investors. So we're making it fast, fluid, and and easy for you, so you guys can make money in real estate while you're working from home. You might hear my daughter in the other room right now. So it's everyone's doing this stuff from home, and
absolutely,
it's the work-life integration.
Absolutely, that's how we're doing it these days, Ross. So now, Ross, that transitions us into our next segment. Now, can you tell us what life would be like for you if you would have never broke your leg as a BMX bike rider and you were still out dumpster diving right now?
Yeah, so just to bring a little bit of color to that, initial introduction there. I was a rising BMX star. I rode right next to actually Dave Mira, the Michael Jordan of BMX, lived in my town. I rode with him every day, 13, 14, 15, 16 years old. I got very, very good very quickly because of my relationships. If I didn't know Dave, if I never met him, I wouldn't have ever believed that you could do a backflip and touch your tire to the ceiling of this building, right? But wow. Riding with him and seeing him say, I'm going to touch my back tire to the ceiling. And then there's tire marks on the ceiling, just breaking that 5-minute mile, making the impossible possible, is why relationships are so important. So my BMX career, I hung around the best, right? Ryan Nyquist, Dave Mira, they were all kind of in my town for anyone who's kind of in that world. But then I suffered an injury that put me out for over a year, where I couldn't ride my bike for a year. And I just kind of lost that window. In extreme sports, you have you better be on ESPN by 18, right? So I lost a whole year, and I took the first job I could find, which was a dumpster diver. So I would drive from dumpster to dumpster, and I would get all the scrap pad, the stuff that you rehab out of, when you pull up carpet, there's padding that used to recycle for 50 cents a pound, right? So we'd send thousands of pounds back, but I had to be the one to go get it and then recycle it. And, it was a really tough time for me because I went from signing autographs to having people sign my cast, and I had to kind of figure something else out. And luckily that happened to me because it allowed me to find real estate at such a young age. I went to Barnes & Noble because the internet wasn't what it was today, and I just started reading books on how to make money. And I found real estate, and 80-90% of millionaires made their money through real estate. So I just wanted to play the odds. And had I not broken my leg, had I not, found real estate, man, life would suck. I mean, it's real estate investing has allowed me to do so much. It allowed me to make so much money at a young age. Before I was 25, I was already financially free, right? And then to be able to take that money and throw it into a tech company and be impacting the lives of so many people. I'll tell you, I wouldn't have the safety even through this whole COVID-19 thing with all this uncertainty, just knowing that I can take care of my friends and my family financially because of real estate investing. And there's really no faster path to wealth than real estate. It would have been a much, much different world. I wouldn't be able to follow my passions or take care of the people that I love, or spend 20 hours a week with my daughter if I had a normal job. So that's why I'm so passionate about kind of spreading this information and getting it out there and helping you succeed in any way I can. That's why at connectedinvestors.com/free, we just kind of give away so much stuff. So I want you to have that moment. It's like after you get that first check, Shaun, maybe you can attest to this a little bit. After you get that first check on your first deal, like, you have a skill set that will feed you forever, wouldn't you say?
Forever. It can't be taken away from you. It's like they say, once you have knowledge, it's yours. It's how you utilize that knowledge that makes the difference. And I really love that story, Ross, because what that shows is that it doesn't matter your background. I mean, Ross didn't come from being a real estate agent or anything like that. He came from being a BMX rider, guys. His circumstances forced him into a life-changing situation, which was real estate. And guys, he just literally just described how the Connected Investors ecosystem can help you guys, expedite your journey onto success, just like Ross did to becoming a millionaire and having financial success to take care of your family just as well, guys. So I love that. I absolutely love that story, Ross. So now, guys, this transitions us into the next segment of our episode, where it's called the rapid fire session. And on this section, guys, I'm going to ask Ross a couple of questions and ask him to give us some comments on them. So Ross, are you ready?
I've never thought of my answers for these. I've asked people these questions so many times, but yeah, let's go.
Let's do it. Now, Ross, why didn't you start investing sooner?
Why didn't I start investing sooner? I couldn't sign a contract any sooner.
Makes sense.
Started at 18 years old.
Got it. On a scale from 1 to 10, how strict were your parents?
5.
Okay. Get up early, stay up late?
Stay up late because my daughter is going to get me up early no matter what. So I can't get up earlier than her, but I can burn the midnight oil.
Got it. How many hours of sleep do you get?
I actually tracked that, and 6.5 hours.
Wow. Favorite or last book you've read?
What got you here won't get you there.
If you could be any superhero, who would you be?
Oh man, it's so, I hate to have the answer that, I think that the funnest superhero, maybe Silver Surfer, would be really fun. But if I could only pick one, it would have to be Superman. I mean, he can fly through space and stuff. So it'd be, world's a limit there.
Awesome. Something that everyone should do less of.
So many answers for this. I would say not being in the, worrying about the past.
Awesome. That's a good one. Now, something that everyone should do more of.
Meditate.
Okay. Bitcoin, bang or bust?
I'm going to say bang today, man.
Okay. Now, Ross, will people live on Mars in your lifetime?
I do believe they will at least visit Mars. Yes, there'll be a human on human on Mars. Maybe they already have been. If you follow Elon Musk, he's selling one-way tickets to Mars right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, there we go, guys. I thank you for that rapid fire session, and you guys have made it to the end of the show. Now, most people don't finish what they start, so you're special. Now, if you got any value out of today's show, please share it with a friend or on your Facebook page. Like the video, subscribe to our channel, send us topics you want to learn more about. Now, like I said earlier, nearly 1 million people use the Connected Investors social network and marketplace to connect. Now, in the description of this episode is included a link to this episode's forum discussion. Tap that link to ask me and other pros questions to see what investors are saying about this particular episode. Now, until the next episode, you can catch me inside the Connected Investors Network. See you on the inside, guys. Bye.
The Connected Investors app connects you with investors, notifies you of available properties, helps locate cash buyers, and secure private funding to close deals. Set up in seconds to become a member of the Connected Investors social network. Now you can scroll through your main feed to find cash buyers, see investment properties not available to the general public, and network with investors by adding your own comments to a thread to keep the conversation going. The Control Center is your connection to add properties to sell, start new discussions, connect with local investors, and even find private funding. The Notifications tab will keep you alerted to new investment properties and offers. You'll also find new friend requests to connect directly with the community to build your network. From the property marketplace, you'll be able to find, favorite, and make offers on investment properties. Download Connected Investors today to find, figure, fund, and flip investment properties on the go.